yummy. These things are, it's amazing. The plan of shaitan is, in this sense, fixed, unless the believer will be granted success by Allah to defeat it. Because the kaid of shaitan is da'if. His plotting is very weak, unless we are weaker, in which case his plotting appears to be strong. But the truth of the matter is, he doesn't have this authority. But when we don't do much, then we see that these shayateen of ins and jinn prepare for the misguidance that they intend on providing in Ramadan from before Ramadan. So special soap operas, special TV shows, special episodes. Everything is special for Ramadan and it has nothing to do with Ramadan. They give it a Ramadan title just to attract the audience, but there's nothing that has to do with Allah to begin with in the actual show. It's a bunch of nonsense. And it's all women and music and all kinds of things are integrated. And they say this is, بِمُنَاسَبَةِ شَهْرِ رَمَضَانِ الْمُبَارَكِ. MashALLah. MashALLah. The hypocrites, using the Islamic slogans to sell their lousy products. Sadly, many people fall for them. And so they choose the time of Taraweeh and the time of Qiyam to give the most attractive show. And so the person every night has to debate with himself. Shall I go to Taraweeh or shall I watch the show? Then the shaitan will beautify it for him. At Maghrib, he will make him eat a lot. And so when he eats it, I say, I'm tired today. So today I'm just going to stay home. And since I'm staying home, I might as well watch the show. I'll make it up. I'll pray Qiyam. I'll miss Taraweeh in the Jama'ah, pray Qiyam at home by myself. Right. And by the time the episode is over and he watched the next episode and the next program, he's sleeping till 10 in the morning. Forget about him getting up for Qiyam, Fajr is gone as well. And then the 27th you'll see him in the masjid in the first row. The last chance to make up for the 26 days that were also ruined in Ramadan. Yeah, Sheikh. We hope that Allah will forgive that person even on the 27th. If one of us that, but that's not good. That's not acceptable, at least. We shouldn't be like that. It's very bad. Then he reminded us all to fear Allah, and he quoted interesting ayat from the book of Allah. Verily those who recite the book of Allah and they establish the salah and they spend from that which we have provided them, whether it is in secret or publicly, they are hoping for a business that shall never perish. So Allah shall give him the reward in full, and He will increase him from His bounty. Verily He is forgiving and thankful. Now here comes the scary stuff, okay? And he wanted me to emphasize on this. Some of the things which we should be mindful of in Ramadan. I don't know why they do this every Ramadan, but that's just the case. Cleanliness and smelling good. Okay? Looking good, smelling good. Now, of course, he quoted the ayah wherein Allah Azza wa Jal said, "O Bani Adam, O children of Adam, take your adornment at every place of prostration." According to some of the ulama, عند كل مسجد doesn't mean only the masjid. Any place where you pray, any place where you do sujood is a masjid in the sense. Then you should take your adornment. You should adorn yourself. It was narrated that Al-Hasan, the son of Ali radiallahu anhu, if he went to the masjid, he would put on his best and finest clothing. So he was asked about that. He said, "Verily Allah is beautiful and He loves beauty, and I am beautifying myself for my Lord." Then he recited the ayah, خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ مَسْجِدٍ. So the Shaykh said, where is this kind of etiquette of what we see today, people coming to Salah and they're sleeping in pajamas, in other words, and you see this for Fajr all the time, or with clothing that have all kinds of drawings on them and all kinds of writings. A guy will have the British flag, which has a huge cross, a huge salib right across the shirt, with the picture of some football player in the background occupying the whole front. Then you want to pray to Allah Azza wa Jal while glorifying a kafir with the salib behind him. Because it looks cool. Come on. Have to be in line with fashion. And nowadays this is fashion. No, this is not fashion. This is garbage. Fashion is when you wear what Islam allows you to wear, and you can look good while doing it. That's fashion. Anything other than that is not going to get us anywhere pleasing to Allah. So the Shaykh was saying that, people come with these weird clothing that have these pictures and images and what have you. And the same goes for the nasty, stinky smell. Whether a person has eaten some food that has onions, garlics, or some other spices, or they have some armpit sweat, or their socks stinks, or they smell like smoke. All of these are actually harmful to not only the believers but also the malaika. According to the hadith, إِنَّ الْمَلَائِكَةَ تَتَأَذَّى مِمَّا يَتَأَذَّى مِنْهُ بَنُو آدَمَ. The angels are harmed by that, which harms the children of Adam. So one of us will come to the masjid harming the people around him and harming the malaika and harming all this. Wallahi, it's a very weird concept. And you're coming for the masjid to earn ajr. To earn ajr from Allah, to get nearer to Allah. How do you come and you harm yourself and the people and the malaika? That's a big crime. That's a big crime. And I live in another locality, and there's this one person, you don't know who it is, so it's not backbiting. If we're sitting here, and my son is a witness, and if he will come sit over there, wallahi, his stink of smoke cigarettes can be smelled all the way here. I can no longer focus on my salah, because when I see him, as if, I don't know how to explain it to you. And I'm not the only one. He's been advised by 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, Ya akhi, fear Allah, Ya akhi, you stink, you stink, you stink. He doesn't listen. He's almost 70 years old. On the verge of death and meeting Allah. Why would you want to end your life in this silly fashion? Khalas. You want to smoke, if you're a wicked smoker, smoke after the salah. Don't smoke and then come into the house of Allah Azza wa Jal. This is not acceptable. And the same goes for the other kinds of smells. Anything which is harmful to the people, my brothers, is not acceptable. And it's not something to take it easy about or to be lenient about. It's not about feelings and emotions. Forget about all that. These are some hard facts. Every year it's the same thing. Very easy. Allah Azza wa Jal has given us water, so we can shower, and soap and shampoo, and deodorant. You don't like alcoholic deodorant? There's non-alcoholic deodorant. You can find it at Danube. So don't say that you know this. You can put the atr itself and put it on your armpit. ما في مشكلة أخي العزيز. If we shave the hair, which we're supposed to shave, and we spray some cologne, whether it is with alcohol, without alcohol, depending on the opinion you follow, whatever, it's very simple. Khalas, you come to the masjid, you smell good. And the masjid is air conditioned, alhamdulillah. It's not like you're going to sweat so much that it's going to ruin all that. There's no way it's going to go bad. The only time it goes bad is when we don't care. All day we've been working, and we're tired, and we're sweating, then the time of food comes, and we eat, now we smell like frying food and everything, then we just, who cares, let me just go to the masjid now. This is actually lack of consideration towards others. This is you thinking only about yourself, you're not being concerned about the Muslims, which is not fair. So we have to think about others as well. If you don't mind the smell because it smells very good, for other people it's pretty disturbing. Specifically when someone burps. You have prayed next to someone who burped in the salah and you almost fainted. Maybe you have not. Anyways. Thirdly, children. The children. It's wonderful to bring the children to the masjid provided that they are educated and trained. And he said that basically, if you bring your child to the masjid, keep him next to you. And then, before bringing him to the masjid, teach him how to behave in the masjid. And seriously, right now there's, I don't know how many people here. One child can ruin this whole thing. Only one. If one was to start running right now and screaming, like this, he will ruin this whole khutbah translation. And the same thing happens in any salah or in Taraweeh or Jumu'ah. One child is sufficient to ruin the prayer of 1,000 people. Let alone 2 children, 3, 4, 5, all of them don't know how to behave. They think this is a playground, just running around back and forth, screaming. They're happy, they memorize the Fatiha. He wants to recite the Fatiha loud. One of them, as soon as the Imam said Allahu Akbar, he said, إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ فَصَلِّ لِرَبَّكَ. Ya boys, we didn't even recite Fatiha. Now I forgot the Fatiha. And the whole salah is praying with the Imam. His father is happy with him afterwards. MashALLAH, MashALLAH. MashALLAh, what ya Shaykh? He ruined the salah. He's running in front of the Musallin. Educate them. If they're not ready, then the solution is very simple. Keep him at home. They're not ready. He said, I tried, he came, he misbehaved, you taught him, he didn't listen. Khalas, he is not mature enough to come to the house of Allah. Keep him at home. Not a big deal. Either they are able to come, they're trained, so you bring them, which is good, Jazakumullah khair, get them used to the masajid, or they're not ready, keep him at home until such time. When they are ready. And inshallah it wouldn't take long. Among the things which we should point out as well is the parking problems. People parking their cars in front of the masjid, wherein they block other people from entering, they have no access to the entrance, or they're blocking other people from leaving when it's time to leave. Again, he said this is unacceptable, and maybe your brother has a condition, he has to leave right after Salah, after Isha for example. You want to come for Isha and Taraweeh, but he has to go right after Isha, he has work. So you block your car and you're thinking, he's going to pray Taraweeh like us inshallah. As soon as I finish Taraweeh, I will go and move my car. But the brother's not praying Taraweeh. The brother's leaving after Isha. So you can't assume that everyone is going to be doing the same thing you're doing, because he might not. So you blocking, you cause a big fitna for the people in the masjid. He's going to come and say, someone blocked me, and who is this person? Yani, no need. Park far away and walk on your feet. In fact, it is more rewarding. With every khutbah, with every step you make, Allah will raise your 1 degree. And with the other one, Allah will forgive 1 sin. So even parking the car, remotely close and then walking here is more rewarding than parking right at the entrance of the masjid. And so if it's going to prevent harm as well, then it becomes obligatory. It's not now you being nice. It's not about you being nice. You must park your car away. You must. If it's going to harm the Muslims, it's not haram. It's not acceptable, it's haram. What is the ayah in Surah Al-Mu'minun? وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْذُونَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بِغَيْرِ مَا اكْتَسَبُوا فَقَدْ احْتَمَلُوا بُهْتَانًا وَإِثْمًا مُبِينًا. And those who harm the believing men and the believing women without any just cause, we didn't do anything to deserve it, then verily they will carry on their shoulder بُهْتَانًا, slander, وَإِثْمًا مُبِينًا, and clear sin. 100% guaranteed sin. So we have to be very, very careful, my brothers in Islam. He said at the end of the khutbah, the month of goodness, Allah Azza wa Jal has made it as such for the heart and the soul. Do not make it as such for your stomach and your belly. It is the month of patience and forbearance. Do not make it the month of anger and revenge. It is a month for relaxation and tranquility. Do not make it a month of fighting, specifically over ful and tamiz, just before iftar. We've heard of cases people punching each other, knocking each other out at the ful and tamiz shop for ful and tamiz. Fasting the whole day, finish it off with knocking your brother out, sending him to the hospital so you can get the ful and tamiz first. Ful and tamiz. This big fitna of ful and tamiz in Ramadan. I don't understand the relationship. Suddenly Quaker comes around and Nunu, and what is this? Vimto, Vitmo, Vimto. It's ridiculous stuff. Sambusa. Huh? Allah musta'an. So the Shaykh said, let's make this month a month to change ourselves, not a month to change our eating schedule. That instead of having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, now we only have, we eat for the first time after iftar. And with this, inshallah, the khutbah translation is concluded. For those interested, you may not be interested, there will be a tafsir class in English, obviously, at the Jeddah Da'wah Center, all the way there in Hayy Salama. Medina Road, get to Hira Street, take a left on Hira. There's a Hira International Mall on your right hand side. On the left there's Tazaj and KFC. And between them there's a street. You go down on that street, leaving the mall behind your back and Hira. And there's a Tazaj on your left and KFC on your right. At the end of the street on the right is a Jeddah Da'wah Center. And there's a class of tafsir in English. Anyone